Hi YouTube. So today I wanted to do a quick video on this book that I read called 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher. And so just a little bit of background about the story. J. Asher he's typically a author of like funny and humorous books. So this was one of his first sad books that he'd written, or ones with a little bit more emotion in them. So this book follows a guy called Clay Jensen who finds a shoebox of cassette tapes on his doorstep one day after coming home from school, and just 2 weeks prior a fellow classmate called Hannah Baker committed suicide. So in this box there are these cassette tapes, and she has recorded 13 sides of the tapes explaining all the 13 reasons why she committed suicide, and also it sort of talks about like the 13 different people who played part in her life that kind of led to her ending it. So this book was quite interesting to read. When I first read it, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like really struggle with it. It was really, it was kind of one of those books where I read it really quickly. Well, I thought I read it pretty quickly. I got it on Monday morning, and it is Thursday morning now. But I got it like Monday morning, and I I started reading it, and I had work all day on Tuesday, so I didn't get to read it until the afternoon, like evening. And I read like some of it yesterday as well. And I actually finished it yesterday. So I thought I read it pretty quickly. I probably could, like, if I actually just sat down and had like a whole day of doing nothing, I probably could have finished it in a day, but I had other stuff going on, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't read it in just one day. So when I went into the book, I'm going to try and do this review without giving any spoilers, because I hate being spoiled in a book. Like, I hate going and reading a book and then someone's like, oh, you're reading that, that's so cool, like, oh, you know, blah blah blah, this happens. And it's so frustrating because obviously, you know, you've gone to buy the book and you want to read it and find out for yourself. You don't want someone to like tell you what's going to happen, because then it's kind of defeats the purpose of reading the book yourself. So basically, I'm going to try and not have any spoilers in there, and if there's anything that I say that you guys are like, oh my gosh, that's such a spoiler, like, let me know, and I can remove the video and do something else, like do it differently. But going into this book, she was sort of hard to connect with in the beginning. Just like her whole attitude, like when she started, I don't want to like give away, but like when she started recording the tapes, just like you could almost like imagine the attitude that she had, like, you know, these people made my life hell, and you know, she's now gonna, now that she's like, I mean, she's like, she passed away already, so it's like, you know, they made my life hell, so now she's gonna let out all their secrets and let out all the reasons why they had a part in her wanting to end her life. And it was almost like she was kind of like, you know, this is my chance to almost get like revenge on them. And I don't know, like her just because of that whole attitude, I was, instead of feeling sorry for her like I think the author wanted us to in the beginning, I was almost like angry at her, or like almost annoyed. And then as the book progressed, I started to feel sorry for her more, and to sort of understand why, began to like actually understand why these people played such a big part in it. Not necessarily that they, I don't think like that, you know, that they were like intentional, but just like the way that she, you know, she sort of felt like they kind of, you know, made her feel like she didn't have any other option but to end her life. And yeah, it was really it was quite a range of emotions. I went from like anger and frustration in the beginning to like, you know, really sad and really felt sorry for her. And then at the end, at the end, you know, I still kind of felt sorry for her. And it was really, I think that like the way that he wrote it, he did it really, it was really quite interesting. I'm just like wondering if I can somehow show like an example of how he wrote. So, so basically this is like the first page. So he's written like in italics, it's what she's saying on the tape, and then like underneath in just like normal text, it's like from Clay Jensen's point of view. And it was quite interesting to read it like that, because like you read what she said on the tapes, and then you could sort of form your own opinion on what she was saying, and then Clay Jensen was like, you know, like his responses or whatever to the video was in the next line. And I think it was really interesting to read it like that, because you could sort of see the two different main characters, and like, you know, his reaction immediately to what she was saying. And it flowed like really, I think it flowed really well. So before I read this book, I saw a lot of people on YouTube doing, like, I think they call it booktube, doing like videos about books that they were reading or books that they'd read, and doing book hauls. And this book came out quite a bit in videos that I watched. I just kind of binge watched a whole bunch of videos over the weekend when I didn't really have anything to do, and I did like one weekend, and so I came across it and I thought it looked really interesting. I was a little bit hesitant because of the mention of suicide in it. And I thought that I would really struggle with it, because I read The Pact by Jodi Picoult, and while I did enjoy it, I did also struggle with the suicide aspect of it. So I was like, oh, that looks really interesting, but it does have suicide in it, and I'm not sure if I will, if I'll struggle reading it or anything. So anyways, I thought, well, I'll pick it up and I will see what it's like. I did go on Goodreads and look at like reviews on there just to see what other people thought of it. Now typically I won't read a book based on like other people's opinion on it. I will sort of, if someone's like, oh, this is a book I read, and I really enjoyed it, then I'll go, oh, okay, well, I'll have a look at it, and if it looks interesting to me, then I'll read it, but I'm not going to go and read it just because someone else said it was interesting. I saw that it was on videos, and I saw it was on Goodreads, I saw the reviews on Goodreads, and I thought that it looked interesting, and so that's why I read it, why I bought it and why I read it. And it was really interesting though because I'd already formed my own opinion on, I'd already decided I'm going to get the book, but I just thought it would be interesting just to see like what other people think of it. And it was really interesting to go on Goodreads and to read the reviews on it, because there was mixed reviews about it. A lot of people said that they couldn't connect with Hannah at all, and other people said that it had them like in tears, and it was really interesting. And so I went back and I read the synopsis again, and I thought I could read it, so that's why I bought the book. And I bought it from the Book Depository, which is like my go-to website, and just because it shows it in my currency, and it is free shipping, which is for like a broke student, that's like the best thing in the world, because you're already paying for the book, and it's really nice that it's free shipping worldwide. And yeah, so I will well, like, I don't know if I will read it like again immediately. Maybe in like a couple of years or something, I'll probably pick it up again and just have another look at it. I think it's definitely probably more a young adult book, and I don't mind young adults, but I will typically read like books that are kind of aimed at like an older target market, and yeah, so it was really interesting to actually to read this, because I have read other young adult books like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I started reading Looking for Alaska, and yeah, so I've read like a couple of them, and yeah, so it was really interesting to read this and just kind of see a little bit more about the writing style of young adult. But yeah, I think probably like the next question is, would I recommend it to people? Possibly. Like I said, I'm not gonna like force someone to read it, but I would say, you know, that it is quite a good book. In the beginning, it was, you know, she's quite hard. I personally felt that she was quite hard to connect with. But I thought, well, I'll just push through and see maybe if it, you know, maybe it gets better. Maybe she's kind of easier to kind of understand, and that did happen. So yeah, I would say, you know, if it appeals to you, if you read the synopsis and you're like, oh, that looks kind of good, yeah, I'd say, you know, you can pick it up if you want, and have a read of it, and yeah, but also that, you know, just to keep in mind that it does talk about suicide in it, and if it is a trigger for you, then maybe avoid this book. But yeah, I think it was quite interesting, and I am really glad that I did pick it up and I did read it. But yeah, that is my video for today. I know I said in my last video that I was going to do a library tour, so I will be doing doing a library tour at some stage. It will be my next video. I just thought that because I finished reading that book, I wanted to do the review before I kind of like forgot like my thoughts and stuff on it. But yeah, so my next video will be a library tour, and hopefully that will be up very soon. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys do check this book out, or if you did read it, I'd be interested to know your opinion on it. And, you know, just kind of like, it's always really interesting to see what other people think of a book, but like I said, I'm not going to read a book based on what other people think. But I have already read this book, and I think it would be really interesting to just see like what other people thought of it. If they enjoyed it, you know, did they find it hard to connect with Hannah in the beginning, or did they think it just kind of, their emotion just kind of stayed the same the whole way through? Yeah, it would be really interesting. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.